Being a Jets fan just sucks. They always disappoint. They can't beat the Bills. Oh wait, they did last week. Yes, hallelujah. They did it. I'm so happy. Oh my God, they finally beat the evil spawn Rex Ryan and his evil spawn twin, whatever, who thinks he knows how to coach defense, but he can't, and Rob Ryan. They finally won against Buffalo, which has always been a thorn in our side, and it's a huge, huge victory because 0-2 teams supposedly only have a 12% chance to make the playoffs. And I'll say that again. They only would have a 12% chance to make the playoffs over history of the NFL if they went 0-2. So the Bills' season is pretty much over, especially since their schedule is impossible. The 4 games I'm going to go over this week in this very tough Pickem week, in my opinion, is the Patriots versus the Texans, the Jets versus the Chiefs, the Giants versus the Redskins, and the Bengals versus the Broncos. The Bengals versus the Broncos is definitely going to be the game of the week, in my opinion. The first game I'm going to go over this week, which I think is probably the most impossible game to pick because there's just like no information on a lot of things in this game, is the Texans versus the Patriots. You got the God coach in Bill Belichick, who is the Greg Popovich, even probably better than Greg Popovich at coaching in his sport than Greg Popovich is coaching in basketball. That's how much I hate and respect Bill Belichick as a Jets fan. And then you got a more stable team in the Texans who have played well the first 2 weeks against decent competition. And the Patriots has really surprised us. It's just they don't have their quarterback, which is the most important thing. This is the biggest test of if Bill Belichick's system works for everybody or it just doesn't work for everybody. Because you got a rookie quarterback from NC State who played okay when he played last week, and you really can't ask much for him other than dinking and dunking little passes, and you just hope the running game does well in the defense, who has been very, very, very underrated and very good. Just keeps the Texans within range. So you gotta pick the Texans. I just have to, and I'm gonna probably get hit in the head because of it, because every logic goes toward the Texans, but Bill Belichick and the Patriots defy logic. So it's just really hard to pick this game. I'm gonna pick the Texans. I'm gonna pick them where right now they're even, but I would pick them -2 even in Gillette Stadium. Yeah, you gotta pick the Texans. I mean, Brock Osweiler, DeAndre Hopkins, you got those two guys, one guy, and it's really hard to guard DeAndre Hopkins. Joe Hayden has a hard time with him. Darrelle Revis has a hard time with him. Even Richard Sherman would, and it's just really hard to guard him. So I suspect that the Texans win, but could I see another rabbit out of Bill Belichick's hat come out of nowhere? Yeah, absolutely. So, and I keep shaking my head no, but I could totally see it. The next game I want to go over is the Jets versus the Chiefs. Okay, let's just get this done quick. Jets are a better team. The only way they lose is if Brandon Marshall or Eric Decker or both of them don't play, which is possible because they're both questionable, or they just blow it like they do every season all the time, and they almost blew it against the Bills. They did pull out ahead. They did play well, really, 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 really well on offense. They actually played decently on defense, even though they let up 31 points. 7 of them was because of a fumble, and 7 of them was just garbage time where we try to keep them in the middle of the field. So I think the Jets are just better. Quarterback, Alex Smith is obviously better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Not by much, though. And you got Brandon Marshall, the wide receiving core, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, and Enunwa now, who's been unbelievable, who played great last game. The first half was all Enunwa. Marshall and Decker were not getting past it because they were getting double covered every game, which I don't know why no NFL analysts are saying that, because every time they showed the replay, you saw them getting double covered. And then Enunwa would just beat his man, which was great, awesome. And then when they finally double covered Enunwa, they threw it to Decker and then to Marshall, which was hilarious to watch. So you pick the Jets to win this game. I think they win by 10. They're right now underdogs by 3, so you take the 3 points. You think the Jets are going to win this game. I think they win like 24-14. I think this game is pretty much in the bag. Now they're probably going to lose, and I'm going to get yelled at. But I still think the Jets are just a better team, talent-wise. If they blow it, that's when they'll lose, which is very, very, very possible. Or if Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall, or both of them, or either of them, I'm sorry, are injured, then it's a toss-up game, I think, in my opinion. The next game I'm going to go over is the Giants versus the Redskins. You have the Giants, just a better team. You got Odell Beckham Jr., you got Victor Cruz. Rashard Jennings does have a thumb or a finger injury, but the Giants are just a better team. all around. Their offensive line has been decent, and Eli Manning gets the ball out pretty quickly. The defense has been great. They're still gelling, but they played very, very well last week, especially against Drew Brees, who no matter what defense he plays, he usually puts up a lot of points, but only 13 points allowed by the Giants. So the Giants have a very good defense. The $200 million was really well spent. Just like what Eli Manning said, this isn't a direct quote, but this is what they asked him, what's the difference in your defense? And Eli Manning said something along the lines of, well, the $200 million we spent, isn't it? And everyone laughed. But I think it's pretty simple. The Giants win. The Redskins are done. They're dead. They're going to be 0-3. The Giants are going to be 3-0. Giants definitely have issues. I know everyone's so high on them, but the thing is, they're in a terrible division, so they'll be fine. They could definitely win 10 games this season, and I think they'll win the division. I would be surprised if the Eagles stay on this pace, but we'll see what happens. The Eagles do seem to have the Giants' number over the years, but the Redskins are just not good. The last game I'm going to go over is the Bengals versus the Broncos. The Bengals and the Broncos are going to definitely be the marquee matchup. I think it's going to be the best game to watch. The Bengals are at -3 because they are home, so they're giving them that -3 cushion. And they are close enough teams where you give them that -3 because they are home. I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason why I'm picking the Bengals to win this game is because they're home. I mean, it's just such a close game. I'm going to have to go with Andy Dalton over Trevor Siemian. And I know the Broncos defense is unbelievable no matter where they play. They played great this season so far. DeMarcus Ware is out 4 to 5 weeks. That will make a little bit of a difference. I know he's a great player, but it'll definitely make a little difference. And I know you still have Von Miller, but Ware definitely gets some attention off of Von Miller. So now Von Miller is going to get a lot of the attention. Will that open it up for other guys? Absolutely, but those other guys have to make plays. I do think the Bengals will be able to win this game. I think it's going to be a little bit more high scoring than we think. I think it's going to be 24-17 or 24-20. So I take the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals -3, which is against the spread is very hard to pick because you could definitely pick the Broncos +3. But I take that. I don't think Trevor Siemian is going to be able to play against the Bengals defense, who has been good this season. They played the Steelers. They held the Steelers to 24 points. And you say, oh, 24 points, that's a lot of points. Against, like, the #1 offense, in my opinion, that's not a lot of points. So you definitely, I think, pick the Bengals to win this week. I'm sorry. You don't definitely pick the Bengals to win this week. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this week. You can definitely make a option to pick the Broncos this week or make a prediction because it's definitely arguable who wins this week. But I'm going to pick the Bengals. I think them at home gives me a little bit of the confidence that I need to pick that team. If it was Broncos at home against the Bengals, I would have picked the Broncos. But the Bengals put me over at home, puts me over the edge when it comes to picking the Bengals. All right, guys, that's my video. I have been decent at best when it comes to my picks. I'm 16-16 over 2 weeks against the spread and 16-16 straight up. I'm going to get to that 55 to 65% ratio. I'm definitely going to be closer to 65% as the season goes on. Against the spread, I was 9 for 7 this week, or last week, and I was 7 for 9 straight up. I mean, the Buccaneers pick was terrible. Oh, and how are the Seahawks favored by 9.5 this week against San Francisco? I know San Francisco's a bad team, but seriously, the Seahawks favored by 9.5 when they only scored 3 points against the LA Rams? Are you kidding? No, absolutely not. But anyway, if you like this video, comment and subscribe below. I think I'm going to get 10 wins this week. I know it's a very hard week to pick, but 10 wins for straight up, and I think 10 wins for against the spread. If I get 9, I'll be happy with 9 because it's a very hard week, but I think 10 is a solid number for me this week. I'm definitely going to do my research and get 10 wins, and you're going to see me next week saying, ha, I got 10 wins, and the Jets won. So I'm going to be so excited and so happy for next week. Really excited for this week's games. Definitely going to watch the Bengals and the Broncos this week also. Very close game. And the Texans versus the Patriots is going to be really interesting and intriguing to watch. Subscribe and comment below if you have. And yell at me, make fun of me all you want. I would love to talk to you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good night.